Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about my favorites from the last month. So if that is something you're interested in watching, you're in the right place. We're about to get into it.
I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
All right, you guys, so you may have noticed a little bit of a change in scenery. We are trying to kind of tweak some of the lighting issues, and I think a lot of it had to do with being in this big giant room. So let me know what you guys think about having a backdrop that we can change up every once in a while. If you guys feel like this is any better, if it's any worse, if you like it this way, the old way, whatever, let me know down in the comments below, because I always want to make sure that I bring the best to you guys. We do film in high def 4K, so I know I've talked to a lot of people that don't know that you can change the resolution on your YouTube videos, and I don't know why YouTube does this. Sometimes I have to actually manually go in and change the resolution when you're watching. There should be like 3 little dots up in the corner of your screen. If you click on those 3 little dots, one of the options that you have is quality, and you can click on quality, and sometimes it's set to auto and it puts you on like the lowest one, which is like 480 or 3 something. But on these videos here, you can click them up as high as 1080p. I don't know if 4K is an option on there. I don't think it is, but if you have a 4K TV, you can see this in 4K. So just putting that out there. All right, favorites from July. Let's get to that. I have a lot here, and normally, you know, things that I fall in love with throughout the course of the month, I bring it to you guys anyways. So these videos are always a little harder for me. But I actually do have quite a few things here that I didn't talk to you guys about over the month of July, simply because I'm telling you, last month, this month, and the next month, there are going to be a bazillion new releases coming out. Everybody is releasing a foundation. We just had Anastasia release a foundation, Urban Decay. We've got Pat McGrath that has released her foundation. We've got Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush foundation coming up. There are a lot of foundations that are launching. I think summer, fall 2019 is going to be the summer of complexion. It's going to be foundations and concealers galore. We also have a lot of palettes that are launching. We just got the Manny MUA Lunar Beauty palette that launched. We have Jeffree Star's new palette coming up. So we have a lot going on, and there are going to be quite a few products that kind of fall through the cracks, and that's what happened over the course of the last month. So I do want to talk to you guys about a couple of those products. Let's start with these 2 products first. So you guys know that I reviewed the Kylie Jenner Kylie Skin collection here on this channel. Well, they extended that collection to 2 new products. The first product is the coconut body lotion, and one of the main reasons why I like this is because, number one, the scent is divine. So it has this very faint, very feminine, beachy, coconutty scent, but it's very, very subtle. So it's not overwhelming at all. It's not strong. It's something that you really have to kind of get up close to the skin and you can really smell it. It's not something that you can smell from like across the room. I love that about a body lotion. Oftentimes we'll get a body lotion, and to be honest with you, when we get out of the shower, we cover our entire bodies with these body lotions. And if they have a strong scent, when you walk out of the bathroom, sometimes that scent can be a little overwhelming. And gosh forbid you spray perfume on after that, then you just smell like a hot mess. So when I get body lotions, I actually like them to be unscented, or I like for it to be a very subtle scent, and this falls into that subtle scent category, and it's a beautifully light, subtle, feminine scent, and I love that about this body lotion. The second favorite thing I love about this body lotion is that it's incredibly light, but it does a great job at hydration, and it doesn't leave a film on your skin. It sinks into the skin and it leaves your skin feeling nice and soft and moisturized, but it does it without leaving this kind of leftover residue on the skin that a lot of body lotions are infamous for. So I love this body lotion. This was a home run for me. As a matter of fact, this is empty. I am going to have to get a completely new bottle because I used this entire bottle up. I love it that much. This was a huge win. The coconut body scrub I really like as well. Body scrubs for me, they really have to walk kind of this fine line. I like a body scrub that actually has a little tiny bit of a lather to it as well, and this is the type of body scrub that this is. It also has that same amazing subtle scent to it, so if you use this in the shower and then you use your body lotion after your shower, you just they layer beautifully together. But this body scrub is amazing. It does a great job on my knees, my elbows, anywhere where I always want a little bit of extra exfoliation right before a self tan. This is a great exfoliant. It does leave your skin feeling nice and soft, but it rinses clean, so you don't feel like you have to. There have been a lot of body scrubs that I've used in the past where after I've used the body scrub, I feel like I have to go back in with like soap to rinse off the residue that the body scrub leaves behind, which kind of defeats the purpose of a body scrub. This isn't one of those. It rinses off beautifully. This was another home run for me. So both of these products, amazing. All right, so next let's talk about brushes. I actually got some brushes. This one is quite a splurge. I love these brushes, you guys. So for those of you that don't know, there is a company out there called Blinged Brushes. And at first, I really wrestled with the option of these brushes because they're quite expensive. And I thought it was going to be really kind of hokey and not worth it. But you guys, the craftsmanship on these is excellent. I was worried about it. I thought this is going to be cheap. It's not going to be anything that, you know, what did they do? Put glue on it and roll it around in some rhinestones and that's how they get this? No. You guys, these are hand-placed, handcrafted brushes. These are individually laid on here. They are arranged in such a way on these brushes. It's just brilliant. The way that they've done these brushes, you guys, is just amazing. So you have this type of design, which is kind of these nude type ombre bristles up here. They're all synthetic bristles, very soft bristles. And then you also have these, which is like also a synthetic, but it's pink and white bristles on the top. So they have these two different kinds. These have a little bit more of a rose kind of sparkle to them, whereas these have a little bit more of like a silver type of sparkle to them. But you guys, I love these. And I know that the full set of these is quite expensive. You can either get the full set of the nude brushes or you can get the full set of the pink brushes. And I think it's like over $100 to get the entire set. So like to get the full set of these is quite expensive. But if you just want to go in and just like get a big powder brush just to have like one of these brushes sitting on your vanity, they look amazing, you guys. I mean, come on. For me, it's really an appreciation for how these are handcrafted and the artistry that went into these handles. I have sat and just looked at these handles for hours on end since I've gotten them. They really are stunning. And the bristles themselves are nice and soft. They did a great job actually selecting the bristles and the ferrules. I've washed mine and used all these. As you can tell, they're dirty because I use them. This is what a clean one looks like, and this is what dirty ones look like. And I've used these as well. These are the pink ones I thought would be like plasticky kind of, but they're not. They are so soft and they feel so good on the skin. They really are high quality brushes. But these rhinestones on here, you guys, oh, I can't. I just absolutely die. Like I was saying, if you want to just go on there and get like a powder brush or one of the smaller brushes. They even do have like little blending brushes that you can get as well, which I think are just gorgeous, all the way down to like even little eyeliner brushes for your brows or eyeliner brushes. They have all different shapes and sizes that you can choose from. Yeah, and you can buy these individually was what I was getting at. So even if you just want to spend like 20 bucks on an individual brush and just go in and get yourself like a contour brush or a powder brush just so that you have one of these, I absolutely think it's worth it. Again, it's the craftsmanship. You just can't beat it. And my gosh, who doesn't want something that sparkles like that? It's just stunning. I love it. I can't get over these. Yeah, definitely a favorite from last month. Next up is a product that I'm a little bit late on, but I decided to try it and I actually really fell in love with it. And that is the new Huda Beauty Tantour. It's the cream contour and bronzer product that she has. So basically it's just these, they're really thin. So it's this really thin little component, and then inside you have a cream bronzer. And at first I thought this is in the shade light, and I thought this was going to read way too warm, way too orange on my skin, and I didn't think that I was going to like this. But you guys, this formula, it genuinely is gorgeous. So if you are new to liquid bronzers and liquid contours, or if you feel like you don't ever get your bronzer or your contour looking just right, this is an option that I would push you towards, because this is pretty much dummy proof. The product literally blends itself. It really is a beginner friendly product, with the caveat that you understand this is very, very highly pigmented. So I would start with a little teeny tiny bit and then blend that out, and then if you feel like you want to add a little bit more, then add a little tiny bit more. Just keep in mind that it is really pigmented. But if you keep that in mind, this is something that it is so easy to use. You can either get the double-ended brush that actually comes with the product itself, which I actually like, simply because this is great for blending out on the cheeks, and then you also have this great little brush, which is great if you just want to do a quick contour down the sides of your nose. But the brush itself is great quality, synthetic fibers, it works beautifully, and it's not a bad price point either, considering that it's basically like getting two brushes in one. It's less than $30, so I think the brush is a good buy. But the Tantour product, the bronzing product, it just blends out beautifully on the skin. And so one of the top three things that comes off your face as your makeup wears throughout the course of the day, most people lose blush, most people lose their bronzer or their contour, and most people lose lipstick. So those are as your makeup wears throughout the course of the day, those are usually the first three things that go: your lipstick, your blush, and your bronzer or whatever you use to contour. And then your foundation starts to blotch away, then you start losing some of your eyeliner. But typically the bronzer contour is, one of the quicker things to go. And that's one thing I really, really like about this product, is the longevity of it. Once you put it on there, it stays on there until you take your makeup off at the end of the day. And I love that. Not only that, but it really didn't read as warm on the skin as I thought it was going to. I really thought it was just going to be too orange for me. And it's not. She picked really, really very, very beautiful shades that I feel like throughout the shade range, they're very conducive to all different skin tones. So you'll be able to find a shade that suits you. And again, I got the color light, and that suits me just fine. But another thing, if you don't want to get the brush, you can just grab a beauty blender and just bounce your beauty blender in here and use that to blend it out on your cheeks. It blends out just as well with a beauty blender as well. Beautiful product, great formula. Huda did a great job with this one. Let's go back to brushes for just a second. In the new Morphe store that I have close to me, many of you guys know that I just recently got a Morphe store close to me in this area. I found a Morphe brush kit that I wanted to talk to you guys about and share with you guys, because you can still get this on the Morphe website. And this is great if you struggle with a nose contour. So this is a collab that Morphe had with, I think it's Brittany Bear, I think is the name of the influencer that's on here. And this is basically everything that you need to contour and snatch your nose. But I love this because the tools in here really lay out the tools that you would need for a great nose contour. So first you have these two brushes that remind me a lot of like the Artiste brushes. They're those paddle type of brushes. So you have one that's incredibly thin, very, very skinny, and it's sharp. That one, you know, you want to use just to draw your lines right down your nose. Great precision brush. These are perfect for that purpose. And then you have ones that are a little bit, this one is just a little bit wider. This will help you go right down the middle of your nose. This will also help you get kind of the center of your nose as well. So this is the M6 and this is the M3. So both of these are inside of this kit. And then of course you have the M0, I believe is what it is. Yeah, the M0. And this is a really good blending brush. It's the perfect size. The bristles are the perfect firmness, and this is what you use to just blend it all out. And this brush works amazing. I love this little brush. I also like this brush for concealer and a lot of other things when it comes to powder as well. So I love this brush. I think this little kit is definitely a win. And if you're looking for something to make contouring your nose a little bit easier, definitely look at picking up this little trio. I love it. Again, I picked it up at Morphe, and it even has these little detailed instructions back here on how to give you that little snatched kind of nose contour that's really popular right now. So I thought this was a really super cute kit available online at Morphe, and yeah, this was definitely a favorite find as well. Up next is a concealer that I found, you guys. Okay, so you guys know I am so picky when it comes to my concealer. Number one, I have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles. Number two, my under eyes are like the Sahara Desert. They are so dry. But number three, my under eyes are very, very dark. I have a lot of hyperpigmentation going on right here underneath my eyes. So I have to have a concealer that is like a triple hitter. I have to have one that's very pigment heavy. I have to have one that's very hydrating. And I have to have one that's long lasting without being non-fine line and wrinkle friendly. A lot of those long-lasting formulas that really lock down onto the skin, they bunch up when they lock down or when they set, and it really just emphasizes all of those fine lines and wrinkles, and it drives me crazy. So I just blocked out 99.9% of concealers out there on the market because of the issues that I have underneath my eyes. So finding a perfect concealer for me has been frustrating, and I have tried a lot on this channel, but there are a lot that I like out there, honestly. And the Jouer right now has been my favorite. Well, I can honestly say since I've been using this one, the one I'm about to talk to you guys about, I've used this every single day, including tonight. It's actually what I have on tonight. And you guys are going to die because it's a drugstore concealer. I am so shocked by this concealer, you guys. And I have a feeling that when everybody finds out how good this concealer is, they're going to have a hard time keeping it in stock. So go get it now before people realize what kind of amazing concealer this is. So this is brand new from Catrice, and this is called the One Drop Coverage Weightless Concealer. You guys, so first when they say one drop coverage, they're not kidding. So first of all, this is a very liquidy type of concealer. So it has a dropper on it, and see how it's very liquidy? The pigment in this is it's ridiculous, you guys. The coverage that you can get from one little drop is insane. Number one. Number two, it's got brightening properties in it. So it brightens up your under eye as well. Look how opaque that is on the skin. Like, you cannot see anything through this. And look at how much that one little dot will just keep going and spread and spread and spread. On top of that, it is this beautifully weightless concealer. Do you see how that just melts into your skin? It sets and it doesn't fall into any fine lines and wrinkles. It also is infused with hyaluronic acid. It's waterproof, it's sweat proof, and it is weightless to the point where it doesn't feel like you have anything on. When I tell you I used this concealer and then I was like, whoa. Like I grabbed this at Ulta. I was just walking through the aisles at Ulta and I saw it and I saw that it was new and I thought, why not? And I just grabbed it. When I tell you I put this on and looked in the mirror and immediately ran and grabbed my tablet and I ordered 3 more bottles from Ulta because I know that this is going to catch like wildfire once people find out about this concealer. You guys, this concealer is everything. Right now, I think Catrice online has like 8 different shades, so they don't have very many shades available right now. And I think inside of Ulta, they may only have like 4, maybe 6 different shades. Get it now before it takes off and the big YouTubers start talking about it, because I guarantee you they are. This formula is amazing. Grab it while you can because this is everything, and it is absolutely one of my favorites from last month. All right, next up is actually a foundation, and it is from Makeup Revolution, and it is their Conceal and Hydrate. Now, Makeup Revolution came out with a formula that they launched it at the same time they launched the Conceal and Define concealer that everybody fell in love with and said was like the same version of Shape Tape. Everybody fell in love with that. And then they came out with a foundation, and I did not like the foundation. I didn't like that foundation at all. This is not the Conceal and Define foundation. This is the Conceal and Hydrate foundation. This, you guys, is a radiant foundation. So this really gives your skin like a beautiful glow. It's also a medium to low high full coverage. So there's a good amount of coverage to this as well. One thing I really love about this is that it is also infused with hyaluronic acid. So you get a lot of hydration out of this formula, but it sets like a normal foundation, and you have this beautiful glow on the skin. So if you're looking for a very inexpensive, radiant, glowy foundation, check this one out. There are going to be a lot of foundation launches coming up, and more on the mid to high end. So if you're looking for a $12 foundation that's really good, lasts all day long, if you have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles, if you have drier skin, this will make your skin look flawless. Even if you don't have fine lines and wrinkles and you just are looking for a really good radiant foundation, I would absolutely recommend this one. It is amazing, doesn't sink into fine lines and wrinkles, lasted me all day long. This is a lot different than their other foundations. This one I love 10 times more. This is a great foundation. All right, next up is a smaller product, and it's the new eyebrow pencil from Hourglass. I think this is called like the micro sculpting pencil or something like that. It's their brand new eyebrow pencil. You guys, I love this eyebrow pencil. So these are like my old go-to eyebrow pencils, right? You have the Benefit one, a lot of these other ones that we've used to do our eyebrows forever. This one is very different. It's almost like it's so skinny. It's like a needle. Like, it's really, really tiny. But it's flat. It's not small and round. It's small and flat. So it does a really good job at like this part of your brow, right? And then you can press a little harder and get more color and more definition when you're working on this part of your brow and filling in here. But it is amazing right up here. Filling in, putting those little hair-like strokes. You guys, this has cut my brow time like in half. It gives me much more natural brows, and it makes my brow time so much easier. The formula is amazing as well, and it stays all day long. It doesn't smudge, it doesn't fade throughout the course of the day, and it just gives you a really natural look. I love this pencil. This was a great product from them, and it totally changed the way that I do my eyebrows. So I love this. If you guys haven't checked this out and you've wondered, you know, our Hourglass is a little bit more expensive, if this is actually worth it and if it's any different than any of the other eyebrow pencils out there, it really is, and the formula is really good. So a lot of times I'll say, no, it's not worth the spend. It's just like any other eyebrow pencil. This one's different. It really is, and I absolutely love it. So this was another great find from last month. And last but not least is a powder by Scott Barnes. So for those of you that don't know, Scott Barnes is J-Lo's makeup artist. He's on Tati's channel all the time. He's just a very world-renowned makeup artist that has been around since forever. This guy knows good products, and he knows face powder. You guys, this is like putting a filter on your face without it looking too makeup-y. I don't know how else to explain it. So I use this as a finishing powder. So I use a different powder and I really press it into the skin in areas where I want to control oil. So I don't use this as like an oil controlling powder. I'll press right here on the tip of my nose, right here, kind of my T-zone. I will press in a good oil controlling setting powder that I can depend on in my T-zone. But then I want to finish my face with a really nice finishing powder, and that's a powder that you just want to lightly kind of dust and swirl around on your face. And typically I use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Finish. We all love that powder. It's a beautiful formula. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. I have not used that since I picked this up. And one of the reasons why, you guys, this is one of the softest, most finely milled powders, dare I say, even softer than Charlotte Tilbury, that I've ever dealt with. The Jouer is amazing, the Nabla is amazing, the Charlotte Tilbury is amazing, but I haven't picked any of them up since I got the Scott Barnes formula. And I'll tell you, because it does such a good job at just blurring out imperfections, fine lines and wrinkles, pores, anything that you just want to blur away on the face, this will do it for you and just give you a picture perfect look. Now, when that happens and you put this on and you kind of look at the first time you look, you're like, oh my God, it almost looks kind of fakey because it does such a good job at just making your skin look blurred and perfect. You kind of think it looks like a little fakey. Don't mistake that for it looking like heavy or makeup-y. If you want to get rid of that look and you want it to look a little bit more skin-like, hit it with some setting spray. Once you hit it with like a little bit of setting spray, then it really sinks into the skin and it just looks like perfected skin. I don't know how else to say it. This was something that I put off for a really long time pulling the trigger on, to be honest with you, because when you go to his website and you look at the color choices there, you guys, I don't know what is going on with his technical team or his website team, but the color choices look so odd and confusing, and I didn't know what my shade was going to be, and so I ended up just saying forget it, because it's not a cheap powder, and if you're going to make that kind of investment, you want to make sure it's your correct shade. Well, my sister ended up just pulling the trigger and doing it, but she accidentally ordered two, so she gave me the one that she got on accident, and I'm so glad that she screwed up, because this has become one of my favorite powders. Now, this is in the shade Alabaster, and typically I am not an alabaster anything. I'm always in that medium or light medium category. I'm nowhere near fair or porcelain or alabaster, but that is the color of this powder. It's alabaster. I don't know why, but just so you know, this is what alabaster looks like in case you guys are wondering, but definitely a recommend. I fell in love with this one hardcore over the last month. So that is it, you guys. That is some of my favorites from last month. We are already halfway through this month. Can you believe it? It's going by so fast already. We have so many launches coming up. I can't wait to be here and talk about all of them with you guys. So yeah, if you have any questions, make sure you hit me up on Instagram. If you're not over there on Instagram and being a member of the approved crew, you need to come on over. My Instagram is @EricaApproved. Come on over, hit me up with a DM, join the crew, become part of the family. If you're new here, welcome. We are so glad that you came by. Make sure you subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. That really helps me out a lot. And honestly, you guys, I'm going to be honest with you, since May, when they made the algorithm changes, we were getting like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 views a video, and it has absolutely decimated this channel since May. We are 90% of my traffic was showing up in recommended. So I was showing up in people's recommended, and that's where a lot of our traffic was coming from. And apparently YouTube is no longer recommending our videos. We're not showing up in people's recommendeds anymore. Smaller channels are really just getting decimated by the change out there. So we are all out here struggling and fighting for our lives. So listen, the only way that we're going to grow, or the only way that other people are going to be exposed to the channel, is if you guys decide to share it instead of YouTube. So feel free to share with family and friends and invite all of your friends over here to our community. I would love to have more people over here as part of our community. I feel like I am a little biased, but I do feel like we probably have the best community on the platform. You guys are so smart and so amazing, and I genuinely love the community that we have here. So the more the merrier as far as I'm concerned. So feel free to share this with your friends and family. I would really appreciate that. I would so love to grow this channel. All right, guys, that's it. As always, I hope you guys are all very happy, and I hope you guys are all very healthy. And I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah.